If you run a home service company, there's a good chance you've heard the name Happy Hiller. They're one of the biggest brands in plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. Thousands of reviews, hundreds of trucks on the road, and on the surface, looks like they're fully figured out marketing. But here's the truth, most contractors don't realize. Even the biggest brands are leaking leads online. In this video, I'm gonna break down Happy Hiller's entire digital presence, their SEO, their website, their Google business profiles, their ads, and show you what they're doing right and where they're quietly losing ground. This isn't about tearing them down. It's about learning from a company that grew from one truck to a multi-state operation and understanding what still goes wrong when marketing systems aren't constantly optimized. If you're a contractor doing serious revenue or trying to get there, what you're about to see applies directly to your business. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? This is Mauricio Cardinal with Contractor Marketing Pros, and today we're going to be examining Hiller Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This is a very successful company. They're doing a lot of things right. So we're going to be examining their website, looking at their SEO, technical SEO, how they're appearing with AI, some of the things that they could be doing better with SEO, looking at their Google Ads strategy, Meta Ads strategy, local SEO, LSA, just give a complete breakdown. It's a very successful company, but we're happy to do this. And just give you, before we start this, is I want to kind of make sure I give you a lay of the land of this company. So I kind of wrote a summary. I think you guys can learn a lot from them just looking at what they've been doing. They started in 1990, still founded by the actual owner. So what I mean by that is that the actual owner is still involved, the actual founder of the company. Obviously, they've acquired multiple companies in that time. But according to the numbers I found, they've done over 300 million in sales this year, close to 300 last year. They have about 30 locations. They have 17 Google Business locations. They have in 9 multiple states. I found Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, and probably more, right? Jimmy Hiller's still the founder, owner, and he's still running the business. They have 17 Google Business profiles. They have 43,000 Google reviews. And it's a huge advantage, right, when they're looking at this. Now, what I want to kind of highlight, the first thing I want to talk about is AI overviews, because they have been hit by AI reviews. And this is a very common challenge. Here's what I mean. One of the most common searches that people are always going to be finding, especially if you're a national brand and you have a lot of customers, is reviews. So what I mean by that is it's going to be your name, right, plus reviews. So what's happening is that before, when somebody typed in Google Happy Hiller reviews, you would get their Google business page. And their Google business page has close to 10,000 reviews and a 4.8 rating. So it has a really good result with that. Now, what's happening is that this is happening with a lot of national brands, is Google is summarizing the reviews. So it's giving the good, the bad, and the ugly. Even though they have mostly positive reviews, it's still kind of giving like a mixed review signal. And I can show you why that's happening. It's taking information from different sources, and it tells you here on the side where it's taking information from. So from their website, from Glassdoor, from Best Company, from Indeed, and it gives you the things that they're looking at, right? Negative aspects, positive aspects, and the big thing is Yelp, right? So it looks like it's pretty obvious. These guys have been focused on Google reviews for years, and they have over 43,000 reviews. And for me, this is extremely important. This is what I told our clients to do, and what I've been telling everyone to do for the last few years. But things have changed, and what I mean by that is that the AI agents are pulling information from many different sources. They're not just pulling information from Google. Google's still the main source. And obviously, if you're using Google's AI, it's pulling the information from that source. But since ChatGPT, they are using Bing's infrastructure, and Bing uses Bing Places and Foursquare to deliver. And Yelp is kind of the big one because Yelp is tied into Apple Maps. So Apple Maps partner with Yelp, and Yelp is the main source for local business in that realm. In a nutshell, basically what I'm saying is that Yelp, they have a 3.2 rating, 555 reviews, is becoming more and more important with AI agents. And that's why they're getting kind of mixed signals, even though they have mostly positive reviews. And Yelp is kind of difficult to get reviews, right? It's always been kind of tricky, right? Because you can't technically solicit for reviews. So it kind of gives you a rundown of that information. So we're going to start with the website, and we'll start from there. So first thing is the website, right? I've been talking about this for a long time. I like the website. I like the design. I like they have a ton of location pages. They have a ton of offers. Obviously with the website, the goal is to not only get traffic, but you want to get leads, typically have two forms of communication. They have inbound phone calls, which typically in the home service space have the highest conversion rate, and then they have schedule online. Now, if you look at schedule online, they're using Service Titan to schedule appointments, and that's probably their CRM that they're using, and they're also using it to schedule to kind of shift the lead to the actual right opportunity. Other thing that I like, obviously, is they have promotions, and this is a big thing. A huge thing in the home services space is getting people to become a client, right? Become a customer, and getting them in the door. And not everyone's gonna be a full HVAC or a full AC replacement. You have to sometimes start small. One thing that I found is that a few things. What I like is that they have a maintenance program. If you look at their information, they have a maintenance program. So this maintenance program is a way to get people in the door and kind of give them recurring revenue. Recommend that for most of our clients in this space. Other thing, right? They have a unique value proposition on the headline. The best text, the best service, 100% guaranteed. That's very strong. That's very strong because I like that. I like that is something that really gets people to understand how they're different versus, the ton of competitors that are out there. Happy or or the services will be free. That's a very strong guarantee. There's a very strong, unique value proposition. That's what really makes it different. Other thing I found is that they have pricing on their site. Now, if you look at the pricing, this is a common theme, is that for pricing, their angle is that they're being transparent. Marcus Sheridan from No Customers, he recommends as a home service company or just any company is that you have pricing on your website, because what people are going to do is that they're going to look at the pricing. If they don't find the pricing, they're going to go somewhere else. His argument is that they're going to find their pricing from some other sources. Why not give the pricing yourself? I actually recommend this, especially in the home service space. Now, in the beginning, this might lead to less leads because they're getting the information they want. But at the end of the day, they might just schedule the information and kind of give you the rundown of that. If I use Screaming Fog to analyze their audit, right? So I did an audit. I used Screaming Fog, kind of give their technical background. And overall, they have over 1,200 pages of content. They're long, detailed service pages that have information that you can really see and what they're really doing. They have really strong location pages. They have their H1, the H2, and their actual title tag all matching SEO, so that's really good. They also have the issue that we found with technical SEO is basically they have too many redirects, right? About 700 to 770 pages, right? I'll show you what this looks like. If you look at this is the Screaming Frog that I was talking about, is that they have too many redirects. About 20% of the site has redirects. If you see this, about 78% is successful, but about 20% is redirects. And obviously that's not something you want to do. It's an extra hop. It just kind of makes your website slower. It slows down things and when things kind of slow down, right? Also, you have duplicate H2 tags, overly page meta description. So when the page titles, some of these pages is pretty small stuff, but it's important. You have more than 200 titles. And meta descriptions are too long, right? Over 100 of these descriptions are too long. You have some image optimization issues, thin content, and some broken pages and some missing meta descriptions. If you look at the meta descriptions, there's some missing, 909, 75%. There's things that are kind of missing overall. So you want to have better images, compressed images, less redirects, stronger subheadings where it's more unique in proposition, and then having the title fit the actual width, right? Because that's kind of the things that you want to fix. Now, let's talk about their SEO. Right, this is Happy Hiller SEO. This is an overview of their SEO. So this is just using SEMrush data. Overall, if you look at the trend, they have decreased in traffic since really of last year. They have a high 90,000 search traffic, and they've really consistently decreased. And we found four main reasons, right? I want to go actually the AI visibility in a second, but basically Google, obviously last year they had an update. It's a helpful content update where if your content is not really strong enough, then Google sees it as not providing enough value, and that can really hurt you with your rankings, right? Your site is also full of sometimes duplicate location pages, so that can really hurt with duplicate content. You don't want to have that on your site. Some core updates that might affect information. I see some of the pages, if you look at some of the pages, they don't have the high intent SEO pages that you need to have fixed. So when I look at the website performance overall, right? Like if you look at the mobile version, it's a score of 42. And this comes down with compression of the images. This desktop version, it's about 60 performance. That's another issue that you want to find. You want to just make sure that you're using these cache that can kind of compress images, and we kind of make sure that you're actually doing the right thing. Some of the things that we found with thin or duplicate content with some of the pages, those are the things that you find. So now let's go over the AI overview. So obviously, being the size of the business, being the number of reviews, they have a way much better average and AI visibility than most people, right? I see most of it's 0 or just low, but they have a medium. Now this is something the SEM Rush says. They have 666 mentions. According to them, they have 169 ChatGPT. They appear in 56 in AI overviews and 435 in AI mode. So that kind of gives you like a summary of things that they're looking at. Their best performing topic is Hiller careers and jobs, but obviously they're just appearing. Now, what I see is that this is not 100% accurate, because if you look at their, they probably do get recommended a lot more, but you'd have to write the content in a different manner. That's kind of the big geo strategy. You have to really answer questions. You have to write for AI agents, which is slightly different. You have to ask questions. The main difference is that people are just asking for recommendations instead of just searching for information. That's another thing that's important. So these are all things that matter in the end and have a big impact. Now let's look at their meta ads. This is something that we looked at. You use Facebook meta ads library to look at some of the ads. What I see on the ads overall, they have strong offers, they have strong branding, strong images. They're using landing pages, and they're giving seasonal offers, which is a good thing. So I think that's much better than average, and it's good. Now what I find is that I would kind of test different offers. They might do this, it just obviously doesn't give you the information that you need, because you're just seeing the ads that are currently running. They might be doing this. Now if you look at their traffic, look, their ads are pointing straight to a landing page. If you look at their ads, like, it's going straight to a landing page. The landing page is very strong. I like the landing page overall. It has good branding, a good offer, allows people to schedule. Now, obviously with the schedule, it's using Service Titan. That's the thing that I like. That is a good thing that I saw. It has a strong offer, $500 off tankless water heater, and is giving them like a bunch of information. Now, I would love to see the back end. I don't know how it's performing, but it has good offers. I would kind of mix on the creative. I would test different angles, different hooks. Maybe the images are working better. Maybe test some videos, test some angles and hooks that can work really better. That's what I see. The meta ads landing page is more designed. It looks like it's more designed for kind of Google ads, and obviously that's the thing that I saw overall with that aspect. Now, other thing, let's talk about Google ads. So Google ads, obviously I can't examine the background, but they have verified their identity, so you can see the ads are running from their account. And they're running, multiple different types of ads. What they're doing right. So looks like they're bidding for right keywords: HVAC cost, HVAC systems, consistent. According to SpyFu, they're spending about $20,000 a month. I don't know how accurate that is. Again, that's information that I saw. They're getting, SpyFu is saying between 100 and 200 clicks a month. I don't know how accurate that is, but this, landing page, I would create more angles, more actual like unique offers on this thing. I think the ad copy can be it's kind of generic, honestly. They would have satisfaction guarantee, call now. These are all kind of generic. More unique, more what makes it different. Why are people going to click on the ad, right? A CTR is above 4 or 5%. That's what we want to have. I don't know what the CTR is. They don't have that information. Their competition is beating them on some of the ads that I found, but obviously that's a thing that I find. So I couldn't find their landing pages for Google Ads. I see the actual domain, but when I pulled out the domain, it wasn't live. So I'm not sure why that was the case, but that's another thing that I find. Now, this is SpyFu, right? SpyFu says they're spending about $20,000 a month. They were not spending for a long time. Now they're spending. Looked at they were at one point they were spending a lot more. They've slowly increased over time. It's not a big thing. Now the big thing is that they are spending quite a bit of money on LSA. This is just one location, obviously. I found their platform. They have, like I said, a lot of the guys do this, but I see this is a good thing, is that they have the images on the LSA that makes it effective. Is that they have headshots of people that really gets people to click. And that really helps people to click. You look at the response time. They have 9,500 reviews. They have the service page optimized, the reviews optimized. They have a ton of photos, right? If you look at the photos, they have a ton of photos. Services, they have a bunch of services they offer, right? Reviews, strong. They just got a review yesterday. So they have a ton of reviews, a ton of testimonials, 200 plus 10 background that's checked. Sometimes they will tell you how fast they respond, but in this case, they don't tell you. It's open 24 hours in a day. Again, when you open up I'm sure they have a call center, right? When you open up your hours, you increase the opportunity that people call you, because if your hours are just regular business hours, you're not going to get the phone calls that you need. They have the booking integration straight with this, so they have the ability to integrate Service Titan, which is one of the Google's partners, with Google to directly book meetings from LSA, and that's another thing that they do. Now, it's something that you can do yourself. You can integrate directly. We've done that for our clients, but it gives you an idea of that work. So if you integrate directly with Google, you can see the deals that are coming in, and you can see the actual calls that are coming in from that. That's the thing. The other thing I want to show you guys is a few last things. Let's go over their social media presence, because with social media, the thing you have to understand is that AI is kind of taking a more holistic approach. So you have to really consistently post on social media and really consistently start creating content, because if you're not creating content, that's going to really hurt you with recommendations with AI. So they are doing a good job. Their main page that I found is on Facebook, has 14,000 followers, but they are posting content. Not only posting content, they're posting regular videos about their employees, their workers. That stuff helps, right? That really helps. Really pictures about them. This is really just stuff that really helps with engaging. Instagram, I didn't see that much with Instagram. They have about 1,800 followers, about 2,000 posts that are posting consistently. And this stuff helps with AI, with the geo, right? It helps with geo, it helps with everything. So overall, we found these are a few things you have to understand, right? Obviously, their SOAring reputation is important, right? They have real volume, real assets. They're doing a great job overall with some of the things. I think the time they put into the content matters a lot. It was worth the effort. Obviously, there's missing some things with technical side. I find every company that I see that has some issues there with the technical side. Missing meta descriptions, location pages. I think their content is thin in some matters. It can be really reworked with, especially with geo. They have significant traffic decrease from this past year. I think that is a 30% drop. And obviously that's concerning. I think it really has to affect with AI overviews, with Google's core updates, with the thin content that is doing that. Obviously running ads on Meta tied into Service Titan directly, so you can see the integration. They probably have a full system integration where they not only seeing the lead, the appointment, the actual sale, to send data back to Meta and Google to optimize for performance. But obviously there's some gaps that they're doing, but this is more something that you guys can learn from, right? They're doing everything. They're successful. There's some things that they can work on that are doing better. Obviously with AI overviews, something that just dramatically shifted this past year and has affected even the successful companies. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys like this. If you guys want to learn more about how we can do this for you guys, we can do all these strategies for you. You don't have to have a huge company. The reason why I picked this out is because I want to show you guys what a high-level company is doing and some of the things you can do on your end. One last thing with their website, I want to do this. I really feel that you should have 4 forms of communication on your website. Their website should be 4 forms of communication. What I mean by that is the phone call, right? A schedule online, a chat widget, and then obviously somebody you can text. So because people sometimes don't want to chat. So that's the thing that I think that they can do a little bit better that I would recommend. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe more for more information. Let me know if you guys what you think. Thank you. So what can we take from Happy Hiller's online presence? First, brand and reputation matter. Tens of thousands of reviews and a strong story give them massive momentum. Second, content and locations pages work. Their SEO foundation is the reason they dominate so many markets. But here's a real lesson. Even a company this big can slowly lose traffic and rankings and leads if they stop tightening the basics. Unoptimized images, redirect below, duplicate content, generic ads, underbuilt Google Ads and LSA. None of these kill a business overnight. They quietly just hand market share to competitors who are sharper, faster, and more disciplined. And that's an opportunity for you. Don't need 400 plus trucks to win online. You need better systems, better execution, and better strategy. If you want us to break down your website, your SEO or Google presence, and your ads the same way we just did here, and show you exactly where you're leaking leads, book a free strategy call with our team at contractormarketingpros.net, and we'll walk you through what's working, what's broken, and what to fix first, so you're not guessing and you're not falling behind where your competitors figure out this faster. If this video helped you, hit subscribe. We'll release breakdowns like this every week to help contractors grow smarter, not louder. I'll see you in the next one.